Walking with J.Beau, an almost daily walking vlog. We are walking today, which is nice. As you can see, we get some ice melting. We're going to go walking on this route that is one of my favorites. Later this afternoon, in a few hours, we're going to have rain. As you can see, these skies are rather tumultuous. It is windy today. Very windy. But it's also about 40 degrees. "40 degrees is nice to walk in, even with some wind. Hope everybody's having a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Today is Saturday, the 18th of January. We went shooting this morning, had a blast, no pun intended. Shot a lot of 9mm today. We sighted in my sister-in-law's Ruger American Ranch 6.5 Creedmoor rifle. It was a very nice rifle to shoot. She got it with the shorter stock, however, because she's a female. She wanted a shorter, more compact stock. So we had to be careful with it so we didn't lose an eye shooting it with the scope on there. My younger brother got himself between the eyes with the scope and cut his forehead open. And it's because the stock is so short. It's really the problem. But those things will happen. Anyway, I shot 45 ACP with 1911. I shot my Canic 9mm Pistola, which is my favorite pistol I have to shoot. Nothing but great things about that. Shot my Ruger PC9 9mm carbine, or carbine, depending on which part of the planet you come from. Shot a couple different 22 revolvers that I liked. Also shot 1911 22. Was fun. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today, mainly because I really haven't had a chance to walk very much because of the weather. It has been brutally cold this January. We went shooting this morning, it was 30 degrees, and it felt like summer compared to what we've had. So, right now it's 40 degrees. It's going to be 42 by the time I'm done this walk, I think. Get on up ahead around the corner. I'll flip the camera around and say howdy. I'm running on not much sleep, so I don't expect to set any record times today. And I'm only walking because this is the only day I'm going to have with temperatures warm enough to walk, with maybe the exception tomorrow afternoon, because we're going to have a lot of rain tonight, overnight. Tomorrow it's going to be in the mid-30s, and then we're going to get 4 to 8 inches of snow tomorrow night, which should be interesting. We haven't had that much snow this year. We've had a couple of 4 to 6 inch storms, but I mean, generally speaking, we have not had much snow this winter. A lot of it has been rain. But as always, we make do with what we have. Hope you enjoyed the new black powder revolver review, and also a separate shooting video I did. I also uploaded a video shooting a 45 at some ice, and the bullet was spinning like a top. I also added some slow-mo to that. And also we had some video I shot today. I'm not sure what I'm going to use from it yet. But we do have some crazy stuff going on in the world. Since we last spoke, you may remember a couple, 3, maybe even 4 times I talked about the Israel-Hamas conflict and the hostages that they had, and I said, wouldn't that be ironic if the hostages were released just before Trump was sworn in the same way the hostages were released when Jimmy Carter was on his way out and Ronald Reagan was going to be sworn in. Lo and behold, that's exactly what we got. Kind of comical in a not very funny kind of way. Netanyahu said in an interview, as well as some Arabic person involved in the discussions, said that more got done in one meeting with Trump's guy that he sent And then they did with Biden's guy Blinken since this hostages were taken. That's just the way it is with these people. You know? They're just terrible at their job. They're terrible at what they do. And we've been at their friggin' mercy for a while now. But that ends Monday. It's finally here. So while we have this beautiful 40 degrees today, soon to be 42, maybe even 46 later tonight, we are going to go into a mega deep freeze. I won't say record deep freeze for these parts, because we have been colder, but definitely damn cold. We got 2 mornings this week are going to be below 0 in the morning without the wind chill. It's going to be windy all week. With the wind chill here, we're probably going to have the equivalent of minus 20 below 0. Would not surprise me. So, I'm feeling my back stiffening up on me right now, and it's because I haven't been walking. The weather has been terrible. We've actually had weather without snow on the ground, but we've had high temperatures, 15 degrees, 20 degrees with wind. See, that's the thing, wind. If it was just 20, 25 degrees with sunshine, it'd be nice. But when you throw in that wind, that just bites your hiney, boy. So, needless to say, I'm walking today when I really don't feel like it physically, because my back is tightening up and I have not had enough sleep. All contributing factors to the problem. So I'm going to flip the camera around, say hi to everybody. Hope I don't look as tired as I feel. Hey y'all, how you doing? Hope you're having a beautiful weekend. Now there's a couple things that Trump is doing today. Not quite clear on what. I have the list at home. But tomorrow he'll be busy. He's got a final rally to do tomorrow at the hockey arena, Capital One. I don't know if it's Capital One Place or Capital One Center, or anyway, I believe that's where the Washington Capitals play. And what is it, the Nuggets? I'm not a huge basketball fan. So anyway, Trump's doing the rally tomorrow afternoon, I believe at 2 o'clock, I think is the time for it. And he's got a couple of things tomorrow as well. Personally, I wish he would stay the hell home. You know, you won the election. You don't need to have a rally to do a victory lap in DC. And I pray to God, if anybody tries to do anything to him, that they are stopped. We need to say an interceding prayer, praying for Trump's safety until he's sworn in Monday at noon. Brings me to my next topic, because I just got done talking about how damn cold it's going to be. And it will be cold all through New England and all the way down south. So you are going to be able to partake in it down south. It is going to be cold. Get my selfie stick to behave, which I probably won't. Well, I'm not doing so good today, folks. Sorry about that. Let's see how this works. There we go. I just didn't want it to start flipping around back and forth. Anyway, I see some guy over there loading up his woodshed with wood. People are getting ready for the cold. When it gets cold like that, it eats up all of your heating sources. We put in a 150-gallon order today for heating oil, heating fuel, at $3.59.9 a gallon. It's about 65 cents more expensive than it was a month ago per gallon. But when it's cold, it sucks on the juice. So this might get us through the rest of winter, or close to it. So anyway, regardless, we don't like to set the thermostat at 62 degrees and freeze to death all winter. So we usually set it 68. Just about right. Sometimes I'll boil water on the stove, put some moisture in the air. Anyway, Trump being sworn in Monday, the weather has forced them to change what they're doing. Now it looks to me like the schedule is staying the same, just the events in the schedule have changed. And that is only the inaugural parade, which I don't really want Trump doing anyway, given the fact that so many people in the world want to kill him. I know that Secret Service and Department of Homeland Security have been flying the only 2 helicopters they have that have this capability, but according to official sources, but they have radioactivity detection equipment because they're not saying it openly, but I think there has been a threat of radioactive attack, a terrorist attack, using a dirty bomb. This has not been confirmed. I'm not on here to spread false information, so just consider this my opinion based on known facts that the FBI just issued an upticked terrorist threat for the inauguration. So they're admitting that they have credible intel that Iran, who is still very angry with Trump and has already said they're going to kill Trump, may try to do just that, either with a drone attack or a dirty bomb. Which, if you're not familiar with what a dirty bomb is, that is radioactive material included in regular explosive devices. So the explosive device goes off, and the cloud from that explosion is radioactive and travels wherever the wind takes it, which it is going to be pretty windy during the inauguration. So those threats combined with the temperatures, I think the temperatures really, they are going to be cold, make no mistake, but it is possible to dress for them. And I'm sure they would have like warming booths perhaps and things like that, like they do for NFL games. They have those heat cannons that throw heat, people could warm up, and I'm sure things would be set up. But in 1985 they canceled an inauguration outdoors for Ronald Reagan because the high temperature was 7 degrees, and while the high temperature is supposed to be 10, 15, maybe 20 degrees in DC, they're expecting 20 to 30 mile an hour winds, which will create a wind chill factor of single digits. So that is damn cold. Wind in the wintertime is the worst. It's worse than it just being cold. So if it was nice and calm with bright sunshine, 20 degrees, I don't think they would have canceled this outdoors. But it makes you wonder if this was actually a security threat and they're just using the cold as an excuse because of what I was talking about. That is definitely wandering into conspiracy territory, so we'll not dwell on that too much, but give it a thought anyway. We have a lot of things going on in the world, and we have a lot of people that do not want Donald Trump to be president. The only people that want Trump to be president basically is us, the people that voted for him. At least a third of the Republican Party wishes he would go away. Almost all of the Democratic Party wishes he would go away. There might be a handful there who secretly are very happy he's president, but they're not allowed to admit that. So we have several world leaders that wish he would be gone, including NATO, the EU. Pick any of their members. I'd like to have him gone, with the exception of Viktor Orban. So the world's a mess, it's on fire, but there are some bright spots. President Milei in Argentina. For the first time in many years, Argentina is facing a surplus, and they no longer have a trade deficit. They have upticked their energy production as well as food production, and they are exporting all kinds of stuff, making all kinds of money for the country, paying their debts. Milei has been exactly what everybody knew he would be, and the socialists spread all their lies about him before the election. They couldn't cheat enough to steal it. I'm sure they cheated. But that's the thing, you have to make these elections too big to rig. That's what we did here in America. I saw a video this week of an employee down south, actually in California district. One of those ones where the Republican was leading in the race, and then 2 months later, still counting votes, the Democrat miraculously went ahead. Well, the surveillance video I watched showed an employee scanning the same stack of ballots 7 times. And I'm sure that happened a lot. I don't know if they just don't think anything's ever going to happen to them, or if they just think nobody's ever going to bother to check. And they should have been paying attention to 2020, because all kinds of video came out. A couple of people did get prosecuted, but for the most part, people get away with it, especially when you have an AG working for the Biden administration. That's going to change. I'm sure Pam Bondi is going to be appointed, nominated, and confirmed for the Attorney General role, and she has promised to take a look into that. As we look at these gray, formidable looking skies. So the other thing I want to talk about is the confirmation hearings we had. Actually, I should finish up on Trump's inauguration, my thoughts on that. He'll be inaugurated Monday at noon, pending nothing happening to him at his rally tomorrow afternoon. What bothers me about that is, and please don't roll your eyes, please don't. I can feel you doing it. There's 2 different seers who have stated, one of them is a pastor, not the one I usually talk about, but one of them is a pastor that saw Trump getting shot in a hockey arena. In DC. The other one was a 7-year-old boy in Guatemala who said Trump was going to get shot inside a hockey arena in Washington, D.C. Both of them said that before Trump scheduled a rally, and that's documented, and before the cancellation due to the cold, where instead of having the outdoor inauguration, Trump will be inaugurated indoors, and at noon, okay? So here's the breakdown on Inauguration Day that they always do, is at 11:59 a.m., the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, her duties will be over. Trump will be sworn in at noon, along with J.D. Vance. Joe Biden will be done as soon as Trump is sworn in. So that's how that works. So 12 noon, Trump will be sworn in indoors in the rotunda, just like Ronald Reagan was because of the cold in 1985. So, I want to get a shot of this field here. Normally, this whole entire field would be covered in feet of snow this time of year. Waiting for the spring thaw so we can see the ground again. But this is what we got this year. A little bit of snow, nothing. I'm going to get 4 to 8 inches tomorrow night. It's going to be wet, heavy stuff, which is what we usually don't get. And it's the worst to clean. You people down south already know that. It's also the worst to drive in. It's like wet shaving cream. So, Trump will be sworn in at noon. Now, the hockey arena event is scheduled in place of the inaugural parade, where usually the president and first lady walk down Pennsylvania Avenue to the White House, at least part way, and then they get in the buggy and ride. But with a heightened security alert this year, I would be hard-pressed to believe that, because Trump is sworn in at noon, the event that they scheduled at the hockey arena for Monday, okay, after Trump is already sworn in, is at 3 o'clock. So what happens after a president is sworn in at noon? Kamala Harris is taken out by Air Force, one of the U.S. Marine One helicopters, as is Joe Biden, and they get deposited as citizens whatever airport they're going to get on a plane for, and they'll have Secret Service for life, obviously. And so 3 o'clock is 3 hours after Trump is sworn in. He'll be headed over to that hockey arena Monday in place of the inaugural parade. And as far as I know, they're not going to be doing a parade where Trump and Melania are walking around outside the arena. I do know all contingency plans are planned ahead of time. They always do in an event of, we'll do this. In the event of a terrorist attack, we'll do this to swear in the president. In the event of a nuclear war and Washington, D.C. is destroyed, we'll do it this way. They have working scenarios for every possibility. So they already have stuff like this covered. In fact, I saw a photograph where they were building the pre-made, not pre-made, but pre-planned platform that Trump will be standing on to be sworn in, and J.D. Vance also. Immediately after J.D. Vance is sworn in, he will be put on one of the Marine One helicopters as well, and taken to a safe location. In the event something happens to the president, who would be Trump, because he'd be sworn in at this point. I don't know how they coordinate all that stuff, or if they use actual Marine One to take Kamala out and they put J.D. Vance on Marine One, but they are using helicopters for everybody. So anyway, that's how that's going to go. Trump is supposed to go over to that hockey arena after the people in the arena watch the inauguration on the big screen inside. So the inauguration is at noon. The inaugural parade is scheduled for 3. So are the people at the hockey arena going to be sitting inside for 3 hours waiting for Trump? Probably. Probably. I've been to 5 rallies. All of which were, with the exception of one, were after Trump was president. So I saw the President of the United States 4 times, and presidential candidate Trump once. Every time I went, I think the shortest wait time I had was 5 hours. So getting to an inauguration outdoors when it's that cold, standing without moving, that's the thing, okay? Right now I'm walking, I'm sweating, heat's generated. That would not be the case outdoors. So, and there are some people that aren't very healthy And even if you're very healthy, it's a hard thing to do. So it makes perfect sense to cancel it and have it indoors at the hockey arena. So that's what we're going to get. I'll watch things unfold anyway. I hope seriously there's no problems, no trouble. I hope there's no terrorist attacks. I hope there is nothing like that. But keep in mind, if Iran were to do something as stupid as attack Trump with drones, that's an act of war. And I don't think Iran would be around very long after that, unless they have made a secret pact with Russia and China that people don't know about, which is possible. That's what happened in World War I, by the way, and World War II. And that's why after World War II, we ended up with the United Nations, so that couldn't happen again. So no countries could hold secret pacts if they were all members. So that's all I got on that. But they really have gone for it with the rhetoric, and they changed everything last minute yesterday. And supposedly Trump did, in the Trump campaign, after talking with Secret Service. And you know, because a lot of people are disappointed. They went all the way to DC, they flew there, they wanted to watch an inauguration, and you can only get about 20,000 people inside that arena, which will be packed. But the inaugural crowd was estimated to be 500,000 people that probably already went to DC or had flights that were going to arrive today, hotel accommodations booked. And, you know, it's understandable. Trump's message on Truth Social said that if you're willing to come anyway, it's not against the law. But really the problem is you have K9 units, you have horses, police officers, medics, firemen, city workers. All of these people would be out in those temperatures all day long. And it just doesn't seem to be practical to do that to people, really. So they canceled that. So there will be 20,000 lucky people that get inside the hockey arena. And hopefully nothing bad happens. But like I said, I've been to 5 Trump rallies, and quite honestly, I think even if you shoved a single shot zip gun up your can to try to sneak it in, you would get caught. They do the handheld metal detectors. They also do the walk-through body scanning machines, which I'm assuming if you had a gun, a metal object shoved up your can that shoots a bullet, that you would get caught. So I don't know about people that have metal plates. I think in the old days they used titanium metal plates, and now I think today it's kind of more plastics or something. But I don't know if those set those off or not. But I do know that I couldn't even bring my own keys, couldn't have my own cell phone. I could have them, but you have to give them to somebody who passes them through a machine, and they check your phone to make sure your phone actually works. so it's like not some kind of explosive you're bringing in. But they don't really scan your phone. They don't do anything like that. And we have seen phones and devices intentionally exploded. Some Hamas people were killed with pagers, and then the Israeli intelligence agency exploded some of their cell phones as well, where you cause the electricity to backflow somehow. I don't know how they do it, but if you cause a short circuit with cell phone rechargeable batteries, they will start smoking, burst into flame, and they will explode. Very dangerous. So that is possible to do that. Which reminds me of one of the last Trump rallies that Trump did, where I talked about it on this walk, where somebody took their cell phone. It looked like some Asian guy, probably about 24 years old, tossed his cell phone intentionally in front of Trump while he was walking, and Trump walked right by it, and the Secret Service hurried up and kicked it away. I never heard anything that resulted from that, or if that person was charged, arrested, or if he was just trying to get some kind of weird video footage for some website or something, where he had the camera set, video recording, I don't know. But he tossed his phone while the president was walking by. Really stupid thing to do. And this was after 2 attempted assassination attempts. I mean, how friggin' brain dead do you have to be to do that? So, anyway, apparently nothing came of that. I didn't hear anything. Media didn't even talk about it. But it was on social media with video footage. Quite bizarre. So, I guess I'll flip the camera around. I'm sure you're tired of seeing me panting, running up a hill, walking up a hill, I mean. I gotta keep an eye on the road here. A crest like this is very dangerous, because if somebody is swerving off the road and comes over that crest, they won't see you in time. Don't know if you saw that vantage point or not. Anyway, I'm going to meander off, do a pit stop over here. I'll be back with you in a moment. Pit stops have to be made. All right. We made our pit stop. I'm going to walk down this wet, snowy thing in sneakers, which can be very slippery on leaves. So anyway, that's what we got going on with everything. Come back out of here and continue on our walk. I'm definitely feeling a little fatigued, mainly because I haven't had enough sleep, but also because I don't have my stamina up to snuff, because I haven't been walking, which every winter this happens. Last year I actually got to walk a lot more than this year, so it wasn't as bad, but tomorrow it's going to be in the mid-30s before we get snow tomorrow night, after it rains all night tonight. I may have a window to walk. And then we have Sunday night into Monday, where we're supposed to get, initially our media said 3 to 6 inches, but he was like, I want to say 4 to 8, but I shouldn't right now. I'll have more information later. So we'll probably get 4 to 8, maybe even 6 to 10 inches of snow. They already scheduled 6 to 10 inches on the eastern half of Maine, which is typical down east. So we're definitely going to get some snow. Hopefully just 3 inches of snow. That would be ducky. I would love that. But it's going to get cold very rapidly. So after it stops snowing, I'm going to have to go out and clean it almost immediately as soon as it stops. Whatever time it is, it doesn't matter. Because when that cold front goes through, it's going to be an Arctic blast with high winds. I'll probably need my face covering. And snowblower has heated handles, thankfully. I do like that. And a headlight, so I can clean snow at night. And I'll just put the lights on the property anyway, so that's not an issue. But as soon as it gets cold, whatever wet snow we had, it's going to freeze hard and crusty. Impossible to clean. Not impossible, but you don't get a good, nice clean down to the pavement. So I need to be out there as soon as it's done snowing, regardless of the time. I'll even go to sleep and set my alarm clock for 3 a.m. if I have to, as soon as I get an idea when it's going to stop. It's that important. Plus we got a holiday Monday. But it's going to get damn cold. It's going to be brutally cold overnight, Monday night, yes, into Tuesday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday here is going to be awful. It's going to be a lot worse in the upper Midwest. Feel sorry for you guys. You guys easily are going to have wind chills of minus 50. Absolute insane cold. Those won't be the regular temperatures, but your regular temperatures are going to be a high of 0 to 5 for sure. So you'll definitely be colder than we are here. We're going to have a high of about 10, maybe 11. Still damn cold. It'll be below 0 overnight. So we ordered some heating oil today because we're going to burn through heating fuel this week. And it's $3.59.9 a gallon, which is $3.60, which is high. I liked it better when Trump was in office and it was under $3. In fact, when Trump first took office, not long after, the price of heating oil went down to under $2 a gallon. That was the lowest heating oil was since the 1990s when Bill Clinton was president. So, but anyway, we're getting rid of Biden. Listening to Biden talk in his last week is absolutely maddening. It's like you get somebody at your house that won't leave. You're trying to be polite. You're looking at your watch. You're reading the instruction manual to things you never use as an excuse so you don't have to talk with them. And they just won't leave. Joe Biden won't leave. Yesterday they were talking about how they have ratified the 28th Amendment, and they haven't. I have no idea what they're talking about. Nobody does. It has to do with equity, saying that's now part of the Constitution, which the office that does that has already said that that's not the case. They haven't ratified anything. That's just Biden blowing BS to voters so they think they have something there when they don't, and the Republicans don't honor it. The Biden administration has been sabotaging the Trump administration on just about everything with a smile on their face like they're doing nothing wrong. So we kind of knew they were going to do that, right? You know, these people can't help it. I mean, Biden's a bastard. I mean, what other way is there to say that? He's a swamp creature. He's been there 50 years. He knows how everything works. He just knows he can just lie about anything he wants to. 28th Amendment. There is no 28th Amendment. Jeez. There isn't one just because they say so. People are horrible. Anyway, we got rid of them. They're slow to leave, but they're leaving, okay? Now, there's a lot of people that talk about conspiracy stuff. They're going to find a way to make sure Trump isn't president. He's already president-elect. To get rid of Trump and Vance, because they were on the same ticket, they would have to get rid of both at the same time. And those precautions are already in place. That's not going to happen. So after Trump is sworn in, and even if he's not, there's no shenanigans the Democrats can pull, because the Republicans lead the Senate and Congress and the House, the upper and lower chambers of Congress. Republicans control each one. And if they did have to choose who was going to be the president constitutionally, they're sure as hell not going to pick a Democrat. So, regardless, okay, that's just the way that is. Now, a lot of people right now are wondering what the Democrats are going to do, because right now they have been feckless. They have been uneventful, ineffective. I'm going to get back to the confirmation hearings now. I watched the one with Governor Burgum. Environmental Protection Agency head. That's what he's going to be. And he's going to have a lot to do with energy production, oil, and being familiar with the EPA rules and all that. Because of existing law, we'll have to do everything lawfully, but the good news is there's a lot we can do. And we will. We're going to have a great time, folks. And I watched the hearing with Pam Bondi for Attorney General. We're going to have some law and order for a change. Here's something interesting. You see those tracks? Those tracks go back and forth into this drain pipe. So some kind of critter is using the drain pipe as a way underneath the road so they don't get run over. Pretty cool. So anyway, I watched the CIA nominee, who was a congressman, Trump ally. I also watched the Intel agency nominee, who was DNI inside the White House with Trump when Trump was president previously. Did a great job. And we also have what I just picked up is another one of those metal Budweiser bottles. These things are absolutely incredible on the hillside when you shoot them with hollow point 22s. And you have to aim for the lip of it right here. So then when you hit the lip of that on loose sand, it flips around and it goes way up in the air, like several feet. And we shoot these up on the hillside, and they end up flying uphill, then back downhill again, and we shoot the hell out of them and have a good time with them. I was shooting that one today, one of the ones we found on the walk previously. So I'm going to bring this home. This is going to be another shoot cycling thing where I pick up trash on the side of the road. We shoot the hell out of it and then shoot it away properly. Throw it away, I mean. We shot up a couple dozen Pepsi cans today. Got some good can action out of those. And you know, I saw a couple of comments on my videos from people talking about how 22s are boring to shoot cans with because they don't do anything. Well, if you use a rifle or a high velocity round on an aluminum can, it's going to go right through the can without doing anything, and the can's not even really going to move. But if you use low velocity 22s in a revolver, you're getting about 700 feet per second to 800 feet per second, especially if you got hollow point or a soft lead tip. You get all kinds of can action with that. The cans will go flying 10-15 feet up in the air. You have to use the right ammo. Rifles, you can't shoot a 22 with a rifle at a tin can. It's just going to go right through it and not do a damn thing except make a small hole in it. Just trust me on it, folks. Just trust me, okay? Been there, done that 1,000 times. So we got 3.5 miles, which today feels like I've walked 5. I have to admit that. My stamina is lacking, but I told you that was going to happen. That's normal. As soon as you stop working out, it starts catching up with you when you're over 50. And this is a walking vlog for people over 50. So if you're watching this, understand that if you're going to exercise to get benefit, it's something you're going to have to do on a regular basis, or else you're not going to enjoy it. Like right now, after 3.5 miles, this is not enjoyable. But I have determination and the will, and I'm just going to walk through it. Then when I get home, I'll have a nice something to eat and relax. My main problem today, though, is not enough sleep. That's my main culprit, because I was up before dawn to go shooting, and so basically I fell asleep at 2 a.m. watching a movie, and then I woke up at almost 5, so I slept about 3 hours. That's it. And I didn't have much sleep the night before, so I'm really dragging. But anyway, if you are over 50, recovery time takes longer. Building up your stamina takes longer. It takes more effort to maintain that so you don't lose it. When you're younger, you could probably walk 10 miles a day, every day. I've seen videos of people 20, 22 years old. They go hiking 18 miles, 20 miles, sleep for the night, and then do another 18, 20 next day. You know, used to be able to do that. Over 50, that's unrealistic. So, but you should get out and walk. And there are going to be people my age that do better than I do. Everybody's different. I do have an old back injury and a knee injury that you hear me complain about often. There's that hole underneath the road, now filled with snow. I don't know if you can see that in there. I did take a video of that, send it to the city, and they didn't want to be bothered. They didn't do a damn thing. That is going to be a sinkhole, though. That's probably going to break somebody's axle driving into it. But that's none of my business. I did my job. Probably the most common thing you see on the side of the road when you're walking is empty cans. Empty cans and bottles. I just passed another 2 or 3 aluminum cans like this one that I'm carrying. We also have a little ice chest there. I don't know what's in that. I don't even want to look. I really don't. I want nothing to do with that. Could be anything from a dead cat to somebody's severed head for all I know. So, you know, this nominee process and these nomination hearings have been absolutely, these confirmation hearings, I mean, have been absolutely amazing, because nothing the Democrats have tried have worked that used to work in the past. Nothing, not a damn thing. They're trying to manufacture protesters. Back in Trump's first term, you had the Me Too movement because of the coochie grabbing that Trump did. And you had all kinds of things like that. Flip the camera around. So you had a lot of stuff like that. And let's see if we can put this like this. There we go. So they had a lot of things. And let's put this way. How's that? There we go. There we go. We got a picture. So they would have all these people come in and start screaming and shouting and getting themselves ejected from these hearings. And the media would flock over, take all their pictures, and several protesters, you know, it would be a news story. Now, nobody cared. Each one of these confirmation hearings that I watched, sometimes 2, maybe 3, and even 4, people would start hollering things, protesting, screaming. They'd get hauled out, and then the person would just keep talking, and it was like those people weren't even there. Nobody cared. Everything they've tried before is not working. All of this stuff has lost its zip. And we kind of knew that was going to happen when Daniel Penny was found not guilty and Black Lives Matter promised nationwide riots. People need to be outraged and get out in the streets, he said. Nope, nothing happened. Nobody cared. That's all done. It's all gone. And now, craziest thing I never thought I would see, Snoop Dogg is going to be performing at Trump's inauguration, or at least a Trump event this weekend. Why is that significant? Well, this is the same Snoop Dogg who called Trump a racist, said Trump should be killed, even had a music video where he had a pop gun where you pull the trigger and a flag comes out and it says bang, pointed at a clown made to look like Trump in his music video. That was a big controversy. People wanted him to have that removed. They wanted him prosecuted for that. But, you know, free speech, can't do that. Wishing harm, yeah. You know, what constitutes wishing harm, you know? I don't know. I do want to respect free speech. But anyway, the point is, I saw a picture of Snoop Dogg in an elevator. I guess it's been confirmed he is going to be doing something with the Trump campaign. And he was in an elevator with some guy that had a MAGA hat. And there were some kind of like shiny gold boots on the floor of the elevator, several pair, having to do with some event that's being put on. So Carrie Underwood's going to perform. Pretty big star. And some others as well. And just announced, the Village People are going to perform at an inaugural event. How cool is that? Trump's YMCA theme song being performed by the Village People, who at this point are just one original member now. So, but anyway, we're at 4 miles right now. They probably made quite a few bucks off of iTunes and Spotify and all these other music services, buying their music. And if they refuse to play Trump's inauguration, their music's probably getting played more now than when they were famous. Really. I have a vinyl copy of that. I actually played it yesterday. So very interesting. So Trump has promised to let us know what the story is with the drones. He's hoping that it is actually our government doing that and it's top secret, which he would tell us. I know what they are, don't worry about it. Or it's a foreign adversary and our government doesn't know what to do, or they don't have the capability, or whatever. We don't know how bad a shape our agencies are in right now. I do know that several hundred agency people, bureaucrats, have pledged to resist Trump. So I can tell you right now, they're going to be fired. And I believe there's an act that Trump can invoke where when you have agencies turn into rogue agencies, that you can fire them for the security of the country. And some of these unelected bureaucrats are able to wield as much power as elected people. And that was never intended, ever, in this country. That is illegal. And that needs to be dealt with, like, immediately. They should all be fired. All of these anti-Trump people that are just going to try to gum up his presidency and usurp the voters, just fire them all. Let them file their lawsuits. By the time any of those go to court, Trump will be out of office anyway. So, and we'll have a country that's been fixed. Just my opinion. And what I mean by all is not all people in the agencies. I'm talking about all the bureaucrats, the leadership, the people causing the problems. I'm not talking about your FBI agents and all those people. I'm talking about the top. So, with that, Kash Patel looks like he's going to be confirmed. It doesn't look to be any of Trump's nominees not getting through. It's a miracle because none of these people would have stood a chance before Biden. But a lot has changed since then, including Trump winning a huge election win. And this is what the people voted for, and it's going to be damn difficult for the Democrats to go against that, because they have a lot of Democrats that are moderates from red states. I'll give you a prime example. Congressman Jared Golden, who is my congressman, a Democrat in a red district. He's a blue dog Democrat, they call it, a moderate. So we had a mass shooting last year. You've heard me talk ad nauseum about it. I won't bore you with that again. But basically, some people's opinions have changed on gun control, but not really enough to get anything done like that. They did get a 72-hour waiting period, which had nothing to do with the mass shooting. The guy that did it had all kinds of firearms and training. So anyway, the point is, Jared Golden came out and said, I think it's time for AR-15s to be banned, assault rifles. Then he changed his mind and said, I think people need to have a tax stamp and register them with the government, like you have to do with a suppressor, you know, silencer or a machine gun. So now he's advocating for that. And Maine is a gun state, okay? Even the Democrats here own firearms, which is why we have constitutional carry here, and Democrats who lead in the House and the Senate here control the legislature, and they have the governor. They really can't get anything passed. We have absolutely no restrictions on firearms here at all. Capacities, types, nothing. So the best they could do was a 72-hour wait period, because somebody might buy a firearm and commit suicide that day. This will give them a cool-off period, you know, kind of thing. So that's what they passed. There's currently a lawsuit that's going to be happening. And also somebody submitted a bill this year already, a Republican, to repeal that, which they can do with legislation. The likelihood of that is, normally you would say this probably doesn't have a chance, but this past election, Republicans here gained a few seats. Democrats lost a few seats in the legislature, the House, basically is what that is, and the Senate here. They only control each by a couple seats in each one. So that is going to be tough for them to pass anti-gun legislation, because a lot of their Democrats are from red districts like this one, representatives. So they're going to be hard-pressed to get things passed, especially in the Senate, where they only lead by 2 seats, literally, the Democrats. And Governor Mills has been a progressive, but she hasn't been a crazy progressive. She did on the transgender stuff, but she vetoed 2 of the anti-gun laws that passed in the legislature and the Senate. One had to do with modifying triggers and firearms, and the other one was anything that shoots more than 1 projectile per 1 single trigger pull. Apparently the genius Democrat who wrote part of that legislation didn't think that when you have a shotgun round that has buckshot, it can have 9 pellets in there, which is 9 projectiles on 1 trigger pull. So she was forced to veto that, because banning basic shotguns means you wouldn't be able to go pheasant hunting or do any turkey hunting or any of the tourist stuff people come here for. And so that was just really stupid. Done by socialist progressives who have never owned a firearm, don't know anything about them, don't know what they're talking about, literally. writing legislation that actually passed because they had a majority. Incredible. Never thought I would see that here, but we've seen it in other blue states. Maine currently is blue, but I will argue it's purple. And the reason why I say it's purple is they cannot get their gun legislation passed. They tried to pass almost 20 bills in the past 2 years, and they've only passed 2. And they were kind of like weak sauce ones. One was amending the yellow flag law. They wanted a full-blown red flag law, and they didn't get it. So these are the moderate Democrats from red districts that need to get reelected. If they vote to take people's guns away, Republicans are going to win, and Republicans are going to win the House, and they're just going to erase everything that they did anyway. So, because the Democrat voters want their guns. You know, the Democrats are trying to push this national narrative of we're going to ban guns, we need gun control, ban guns, you don't need a gun. And the Democrats here are like, yes, we do. So, kind of interesting. And so they wanted a full red flag law, which is probably what they're going to try to pass this time around. And it's starting to smell like they're going to start trying to pass the assault rifle thing, where they're going to try to say, we don't want to take them from you, we just want you to register them, which is what they did in Illinois, remember? That's not going to fly here either. So that almost cost Jared Golden his seat. He almost lost to the Republican. I told you that before. 49.9% to 49.8%. It was a very close race. And supposedly the Democrat won, so. But that just goes to show you, Jared Golden, I had told you on this walk, I said he was, you know, I liked Austin Terrio, but Jared Golden was going to beat him easily. He's got the media, he's got all kinds of money. All the people around here already know him. They know what they're going to get, a moderate, which he is. So, he almost lost. And it was because he said that about guns, but he's doubled down on it since he got reelected. So he wants to see Maine have a registry for assault-style rifles, he calls them. He knows not to call them assault rifles, because assault rifles, citizens that have never owned those, they can't have those. The ones we have don't have select fire. Select fire means single shot, burst of 3, or full auto. We don't have those. So, anyway, Jared Golden. Piece of work that guy is. So anyway, he's claiming to be a moderate, and now you're going to get a kick out of this one. He's in a red district that Trump won by 9%, 9 points. Trump won this district very easily. And so now, guess what he's doing? He's introducing legislation in Washington, D.C. for a 10% across-the-board tariff on all imported goods. So he's stealing Trump's tariff idea, trying to get the Republican Congress to get on board to pass it, which I don't think they're going to, because where the hell was Jared Golden before Trump was the candidate? Well, he was not supporting tariffs. So he's just showing his true colors, flip-flopping Jared. And Mike Johnson in D.C. probably knows that already. But it's just trying to tell you and show you an example of what Democrats do. They flip-flop, They go with the flow. Whatever's popular is what they support. So now they're going to drop all the transgender stuff, all the DEI stuff, because it did lose them elections nationwide, and they're going to drop it like they never happened, hoping voters forget about it. Some voters will forget about it, but many are not going to. So they've been pushing that for 20 years now. People know if they like it or not, and they know what it is when they see it. So I'm gonna have to change the battery soon, it looks like. But I hope you enjoy walking with me today. And you know, click like and subscribe to content. I really do sincerely hope you enjoyed this. I'm coming up on 5 miles any minute now, so I'm just going to end it now. And check out my gun videos I've uploaded recently. Check out the firearms and gun review playlist. Anything firearm related is in there. And anything walk related is either in the Woods Walk Gun Talk playlist or the walking playlist. Walking with J.Beau. Which is what you've been watching. So God bless you and your family. Click like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next walk, maybe tomorrow, maybe a week and a half from now. I don't know what the weather's going to do. So until then, God bless you and your family. Stay safe and pray for President Trump. Seriously, make sure the inauguration goes well. Everything is great. So say a prayer for him, seriously, and J.D. Vance. So we will talk to you soon, everybody. Bye-bye. Have a beautiful weekend. Thanks for walking with me.